Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. It is a very snowy day. Time for another live stream Sunday. And today is actually Sunday. Yesterday I had it wrong. Today I got it right. Today is Sunday, January 31st, 2021. Last day of January, heading into February. First month of 2021. I feel like it's gone by pretty quickly. Hopefully you guys have made it through okay. Before we get started today, let's say hi to everyone listening on the podcast version. Hopefully you're having a good run on this audio-only version. And everyone watching this on YouTube but not live, welcome. Glad to have you here as well. I understand that for a lot of people, it's either not convenient, you might not get to it, or the time zone's all wrong, but I appreciate you checking it out anyway. All right, let's see who's here live today. We've got Chris Yao saying, yeah, it's that time. Nice. And Dr. Funk says, I don't think I can make the live stream today. Uh-oh. Turn this mic down a little bit. I feel like I'm a little loud. So I don't think I can make the live stream today, but I did see your cousin Jamie today when I visited Austin for one day. Saw him on the run and said, yo, Jamie, awesome. That's cool. Very nice. He's been doing a lot of jogging out there, so I'm happy to see him out there. Philip says, yo, what's going on? First month of run streak finishing at 326K, so over 200 miles with a minimum of 5K per day. Now I need to replace the endorphin shifts. Maybe a 1080 V10, an Novoblast, or Ride 13. Any recommendations? I'd say all of those are good. The first two, the 1080 and the Novoblast, are going to be a lot softer for you. The Ride 13, a very comfortable shoe, but you don't get as much kind of like that squish, that like step in comfort with the Ride 13. Not to say that it's not a very comfortable shoe. I think it's a very comfortable shoe, but just not just a touch less soft. Innes is here, says hi Kofuzi and everyone. I saw some snowy pics with Pip out there on Instagram today, Innes. Looking good. Carlos says, hi everyone. What's going on, Carlos? Recycle on Wednesdays here as well. CJ says, yo, what's going on? Made it to the live stream, but I won't make it through the live stream. Catch you all on the podcast. Awesome. Well, sorry I couldn't make it today, but we'll see you soon. All right, JC is here, says, hey, everyone. Bert is here as well. Chris Dyke says, hey, folks. Louis Becerra says, yo, what's going on? What's going on, Louis? All right, Stevie76 says, I don't care if Nick Barra ran under 3. I'm still taking Kofuzi in a selfie stick duel. I don't think Nick ever films himself running. He's got quite an entourage of people that are filming him, so he's got a team. So he doesn't need to. So it's not that I would say that I'd be better at him in a selfie stick tool. I just would have more experience. It's kind of like in Office Space, when they're like, it's not that the gangsters are that much more intelligent than the computer programmers. They just have more experience. So that's kind of, I guess in that metaphor, I am the guys working at Initech, and Nick Barr is the mafia guys. Right? Steven Gersdorf says, hey, what's going on, Steven? And Chris Tyke says, glad I watched your video on the Stride 10K training plan before starting mine. I set my race date for 1 month out originally, but looks like it wasn't optimal for a good race. He has a good point. I was looking at this morning what I'm going to do I'm going to sign up for that Shamrock Shuffle. I think I'm going to sign up for it today. I think that I saw Dina Castor had posted something on Instagram. I don't know if she has a promo code or what, but I think they're really trying to push more people to sign up in January, just like that's just their end of month push. So I think I'm going to do that tonight. I like the date when it is, and 8K is a nice distance, nice and short. And so I started to set up a Stride 8. Well, there isn't an 8K training plan. There's a 5K or 10K. So I picked the 5K, I think, or maybe I picked the 10K. I'll have to go look at that. I think I picked the 10K. I don't remember. But I was looking at it. I tried to do higher mileage, 7 days a week, 9 hours of training. And it gave me like a high mileage, like 50 mile a week plan. And I was like, that doesn't seem a lot. I can always add some. I'll change the long run to make it what I want to do. So I'll just switch that up a little bit. But then even looking at some of the shorter work, I'm like, I don't know that this is going to really give me the bump that I want. And I thought for, if I had 6 weeks, 7 weeks to give it time to give me a more rigorous program, that it would be tough. And I'm not saying all those workouts would be easy, but I was thinking of, there's nothing on there that I looked at and I was like, oof, that's going to hurt that day. And I feel like when you're at the beginning of a workout plan, there should be a couple that are a little bit intimidating. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. So I was like, I'm not sure I want to use this. I was pretty much set. I hadn't really put much thought into it. But then I just started looking at Jack Daniels again, and then there he has a 5K/10K training plan. Sorry, internet's might be a little bit iffy today. We're still getting a lot of snow. I don't know why weather affects it, but it just seems to. But I was looking at the Jack Daniels plan book today, and he has a 5K/10K program for 60 to 70 miles a week. And I was like, oh, that might be a better fit. But, you know, his Jack Daniels training plans are all like 12-week programs, even for a 5K. So I'm just like, well, I don't have that much time, and I don't want to, like, you know, give myself halfway to it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm really not sure. Gotta still do some thinking about it. Sarah Mims says, hi all from cloudy/rainy/cold Atlanta. Just got in from 6.1 mile easy recovery run. Got the orange noon dissolving now. Glad to be here. Awesome. I just yesterday bought a tub of noon. I've never bought the tub before. I've only bought the tablets because I really like that form factor. Just plop it in and it's good to go. It makes it very easy. It was very easy for me to use at work. And so like it was a good way for me to kind of cut back on caffeine a little bit, make sure I'm staying hydrated. But now, you know, that's not an issue. The form factor is less important to me now. So I'm going to try the tub. We'll see how it goes. Scott has a new watch today. That's always an exciting day. And Runner Dre says, hi all. Martha's here as well. How's it going, Martha? How are you? Oh, Mark Saltzman says, New York waiting on a snow blizzard soon. Let me tell you, we got it for real here. The last snowstorm that came through Chicago, they were like, oh, there's going to be a big one. And we got snow, but I was like, there's a snowstorm. But it's not, you know, people got pretty hyped up about it. And I'm not sure we're going to get what they think we're getting. This one we got it. There was a lot of snow out there. I was trying to run through. I was out there relatively early this morning and trying to run through some of the parts. I mean, give the city its credit. They plow a lot. They plow and salt that lakefront pass so people can get through there. And so a lot of it was relatively clear, very clear. But there were some parts where, like with the snow drifts, I felt like I was up to my kneecap in snow. So like there were parts where I had to walk today because it was just too much snow. But yeah, so the snow is legit. If you're getting what we're getting, you're about to get a lot. Now, let me tell you, it's fun. So enjoy it. Bert says, going to do some exercise while listening and watching the live stream. Very good. Very cool. I need to do some more. I busted out the massage gun the other day, and I was like, I gotta make sure that this is not so rare an occurrence. I don't think I've used my that band that I use my monster walks with. I don't think I've used that since we've been back, so I gotta get back into it. I've been feeling a little bit tender in the hips, so I'm like, I know I've been doing a little bit of just kind of stretching, moving around, but you know, I've been not paying as close attention to some of that stuff, so I got to get back to it. Carlos says they got a lot of snow there. All right. Stuart Coates says, evening all from South Wales. Oh, love the Poe avatar going on down here. Welcome, Stuart. If we got any people that are new here today, welcome to all of you. If you want to let me know where you're watching from, I'd love to be able to say hi to you guys if you feel comfortable. If you want to just hang out in the background and listen for today, totally cool as well. If anyone has any running questions or any specific type of question that you came here to hopefully get answered, either from me or someone else in the chat, feel free to put it in there. There's no structure for today. We're all just kind of hanging out. And if I see a question, I'll try to answer the question the best I can. Stephen Gersdorf, I think, rubbing it in for all of us experiencing winter today, saying it's 55 degrees in Los Angeles. That sounds just about perfect. Carrie Smith is coming in right after Ed's live stream. Awesome, Carrie. See, I feel like, you know, there's lots of people doing regular live streams now. And I feel like we're getting to the point where we could have like an XM radio station, like like a running talk radio channel, like on satellite radio. I feel like that could be a thing. I think we could do it. I don't know how would that get put together or how that would work or what. But, you know, I feel like the time is right. The time is right. We could have, we could give all the quirky distance runners the weird time slots. We'll take it. But yeah, I feel like that's always totally something that could happen. I was watching today the American Track League, which I'm not sure. I've never heard of that before, or like last week. But there's an American Track League. My suspicion is that it's like a couple of agents getting together, their stable of athletes, and trying to find a forum for their athletes to race and perform, and also kind of inviting the rest of the competitive field to the event as well. So I feel like that's kind of thing, which strikes me very much as like professional golf's earlier days. Not that I saw it from what I understand from the history kind of that I'm aware of. So hopefully this portends well for American track. But I was watching that today and watching the Blankenship Women's Mile, which was pretty cool. I wonder how much that costs to sponsor it, to like put your name in front of an event, because like that'd be really funny to have like the Kofuzi pole vault. I don't know how much that would cost. More than I'm willing to spend, I guarantee it, even if it's like shockingly low. But it also makes me think, oh, I don't know, maybe some of these unattached athletes want to wear like a Kofuzi singlet from one of their races. Maybe they would do that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want to, but it was an interesting idea. Bert, also in the same boat in terms of like what I was saying, and not taking care of myself as well, says he has to catch up on core stability and leg strength after a bit of a lazy week. Well, yeah, I can relate to that. Larry Lawrence hit 350 miles this month. Whew, that's a big month. Good work, Larry. Nice. Yeah, Teddy Man says, hey, Kofuzi, we were at Ed Bud's party. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people with like the hour, like trying to like doing their live streams the hour before this. I'm sure. I hope that people aren't trying to like schedule around me. I hope they're doing their thing when they want to do their thing. But it's hard for me to go to those because like that 2:00 hour, I'm trying to get my kids settled. If my wife is busy with work, it's not as much of a deal on the weekends, but during the week, I'm trying to make sure my kids are settled so that way I can kind of pass them off to my wife at the 3:00 hour, and then I got to get set up. So it's tough for me to see stuff that happens the hour before this. And then the hour after this is tough too, because then I've been gone for an hour. So, I got to get back into family life. But, I do enjoy watching all the other there's so much more content out right now. It's a really great time. Mile Ivanov is here again. Good to see you. Also coming from Ed Bud's. Great, man. Ed Bud's he's a great, he's been great feeding me viewers. So that's awesome. Glad to have everybody here. All right. CJ Cruz says, don't look now, but it's almost our 1-year anniversary. Bittersweet for numerous reasons. Thankful for this group. I know. It's weird. So like today is live stream. If I've been counting it right, which I'm sure I haven't, but it's YouTube live stream 271. And there was probably a good 30 to 60 days where I was doing Instagram lives. So like it's, maybe 30 days. It seems like that. Yeah. So it's been a lot of live streams. It's been a long time. I don't know. All right. David Sachs is here. Says, hi, all. What's going on? Running Guy's here, too. What's going on, Running Guy? Stevie76 is here. Nicholas Semple. Welcome, everybody. Let's see. Martha had something that just skipped down. Oh, I'm really far behind on the chat. Sorry, guys. Martha with a very funny comment. Because I got the days messed up yesterday, and I thought yesterday was Sunday for like half the live stream. Martha says, maybe yesterday was Sunday, but it was the wrong live stream. That's a good point. That parallel universe, that string theory universe that keeps bumping into us. Maybe that was that again. Maybe that other alternate universe is a day ahead, and that's why things keep messing up. I don't know. Carl Lothar is here, coming over from Ed Bud as well. What's going on, Carl? Asat Vong is here as well. Yeah, lots of people here. Good to see everybody. All right, I got to scroll down. Sorry, I'm going to try and really quickly look through here and see if there's any questions. Scott says, though, already have a couple inches of snow on the ground in Central Jersey. I love the Central Jersey reference. There was a while, I don't know if you were aware of this, Scott, but elsewhere in the country, there was a fierce debate whether there was such thing as a Central Jersey. People were saying there's North Jersey and South Jersey. I very fervently believe that there's a Central Jersey. I feel like it goes from like Monmouth County, that's where I was for a lot of my life, all the way up through like Middlesex County, where like Rutgers is. There's like a band that stretches across the state, kind of like somewhat diagonally, almost like a sash, like the state troopers logo across the state. And I would call that Central Jersey. So I'm very glad to hear that you're from there. All right. Andreas is here as well. All right, let's see if I have any questions. Ooh, Connor Murray says, "Hey, Kofuzi, do you still work full time?" No, I do not. I had to shut my business down because it is a business that requires larger scale events. 90% of our business revolved courtroom work. So, you can only make it so long when that doesn't happen. Well, we could have made it longer, I suppose. I suppose there was ways that we could have sort of tried to figure out ways to survive. But I don't know. Maybe a younger man could have navigated us through that, but I just didn't have the energy or the kind of desire to try and steer the ship through those waters. So we shut it down a few months ago. So my full-time work now is to be a stay-at-home dad / preschool teacher and virtual school proctor. All right. Any other questions? Let's see if we got questions. Mr. Derp9 says, I love this drawing here too. How's the Saucony Endorphin Speed holding up? I haven't run it since the 100-mile review. I've given it to my nephews who either have them or they've donated it to charity. I'm not sure what they've done with them yet. So, I love that shoe. I just don't have enough room in my closet to hold on to shoes after I kind of do the 100-mile review. I'm looking forward very much to see what the next iteration of the Endorphin Speed is. Ooh, sorry. Lee Sumner is here from Catterick Garrison, North Yorkshire, UK. Oh, nice. Awesome. All right. Carrie Smith says, Mike, are you going to review the 1080 version 11s? Just purchased a pair myself. Yes. I just saw that they released, today or yesterday? They just came out, right? So I definitely will pick some up. I'm not in a super rush to get them. There's a couple other shoes that I'd like to kind of finish running in first, especially since the weather's still kind of nasty here in Chicago. So it's not a super high priority, but I'll probably end up looking at it like late February is when I'll start looking at it. Jackie Mai says, hey, Kofuzi, my hair is also that length, but like 1 month behind. Is it getting hard to manage? When are you cutting it? It's getting very difficult to manage. I don't like it no matter what I do with it at this point. So it just needs to be a little bit longer or I need to just cut it. And I don't really plan on cutting it anytime. Oski501 asks, will you be testing the new Pumas? Yes. I don't know. Molly Seidel is making Puma look fantastic. She's like a one woman wrecking crew in terms of like making people pay attention to Puma. That's for sure. I mean, not that she's like the only big athlete that Puma has. I was just watching that track meet. Sandy Morris, now a new Puma athlete as well. Very impressive, but like, those shoes look good. So it's very difficult because I think I'm going to be reviewing a couple of them to not look at the stuff that Believe in the Run's putting out, because like they seem to have been putting out a lot of content on those Puma shoes. So I'm very interested to see what they got. All right, let's see. Any more questions? Let's see. All right, because I'm really far behind on the chat here. I want to make sure I get any questions that are here. Anyone that's coming in new today. All right. Stevie76 says, apparently the wife of a PGA player, Patrick Reed, has a burner account and talked trash last night. Anyone else have a burner account? That's really funny. The wife has a burner account? That's interesting. Who's talking trash in golf? People are talking trash in golf? What kind of trash talk is there? I don't know. That's interesting. Duke Holbrook wants to know, how many pull-ups and push-ups can I do? I could probably do 20 push-ups, maybe 15. Pull-ups, I could probably do 5. I'm not sure. I haven't checked in on either of those from a long time. All right, Jonathan Eck is here from downstate Illinois. Awesome. Thinking of breaking out the yak tracks with a 5 a.m. run. It could be. I don't know how hard are you guys getting the snow down there. And Alex Treparena says, checking in from the OC. No run today, but yesterday's was shorts and t-shirts with the sun out. Wow. That's very different than what I had here. Very different. Awesome. Feel like such a whiz when y'all talk about snow running. Oh, man. But you know what? don't worry about it. You got great weather, and just embrace it, and you should rub it in our face. That's what you should do. All right. Ben Browning's in from South Wales. Nice. Ben Browning, Cindy Town. All right. Brendan's here. Good to see you, Brendan. And Bean Dip, 62 degrees on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Ooh, nice. That sounds really nice. I do want to go visit more of the Gulf Coast. It just always seems like it's going to be so pleasant. Stevie76 says, who would get the primetime slots on an XM running channel? Oh, that's easy. So, I mean, if Rich Roll were on it, he would get a primetime slot. Ethan Ginger Runner would get a primetime slot. Billy Yang. Like, those are those are easy. Mario Frioli, Rambling Runner. Like, those are all, that could be like primetime or whatever the most important time. I'm guessing like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock would be prime, like XM time, because that's when people are driving. So like, yeah, that's who I think that's an easy lineup. People that I like: Allie on the Run, Lindsey Hine. Those would be people that I would want to see prime time. There's a lot of other really great podcasters out there too. So that's where I'd want to have like those kinds of like interviews and conversations. I think some of the quirkier distance runners though might be pretty good for morning time stuff when you're like not awake and you're not really in the mood necessarily for a pretty serious conversation. I think that's where I'd be real good. Give me that 5 a.m. slot. That's what I would like. Yeah, Sean says SJWB Promotions, Ed Bud on sound engineer, and as drive time host. There we go. That'd be fun. Ed Bud's sound is really good. His microphone always sounds so good. Every time I do like a video with him, I'm like, all right, I feel like I did a pretty good job on my video this time. I think it looks good. I think it sounds good. And then we trade, and Ed Bud's like the sound. It just sounds like he's sitting right next to me, and I'm like, oh, this sounds great. It really does sound good. I don't know how he does it. All right. Pistol Pete says, I'm still way far behind. Sorry, guys. I noticed that many other YouTubers like yourself I don't know what ABS yourself means, but like yourself don't review any Under Armour running shoes. Why is that? I've reviewed one Under Armour shoe a couple of years ago, and I thought it was good. And then I was looking forward to seeing what they were going to do the next year. And then that next year was the year where there was like the big scandal with the CEO or something like that. That I think luckily for Under Armour got overshadowed by all of Nike's scandals. But for a while, it just seemed like that following year, anyway, the shoes, it was like there was no update. They tried to say it was like a minor upper update for all the shoes, but I just felt like they didn't update anything. And I felt like it's been like that. I feel like the Hover Sonic, tell me if it's changed at any point in the last 3 or 4 years. Are they on 4 now? 3? I don't know what number they're on. But tell me if it's changed. I don't think it has. And so like the main feeling that I get is with their emphasis on like CrossFit, gym, lifestyle, like that kind of activity, they've been delving deep into basketball. They've always been very deep into football. Running, I don't feel like has ever been a very core sport for them. And I just never felt like they've taken it very seriously. So I'm waiting for them to do something that makes me look kind of like what Puma's doing. They signed some big athletes. They've got brand new shoes coming out. They've been working on stuff, trying to make some movement the last couple of years, and it's been interesting, but nothing to really like solidify a moment yet. And I think could be a year for Puma. But like Under Armour, I love their gear. Their running shoes, I've just never, nothing seems to change. And what I've tried before was good. I look forward to when they change it, so that's kind of where I'm at on it. I can't speak for anybody else. All right. Let's see. Gary B71 says, hi from Manchester, UK. Do you find yourself looking at other runners' feet to check out what shoes they're wearing? Oh, yeah, for sure. Anytime I look at like any pros, what they're putting out in terms of like Instagram and on Twitter, I always look at the shoes. What are they wearing? Like when Parker Stinson does strides, a lot of times he'll do his strides and he's moving really fast in Triumphs. And I'm like, that must be some of the fastest mileage that Triumph shoes ever get to see. So that's the kind of thing. So I do that from pros. And then when I'm out there on like the path, like for regular people, I definitely keep an eye out for what people are wearing just to see like what actually there's, the difference between what I see on social media versus what's actually out there. Because I do feel like the vast majority of runners aren't posting every single run or even a substantial minority of their runs on social media. So like, how am I going to know what they're wearing? So I just like to get a feel for that. So like based on what I see out there at least in Chicago, I would say like the Infinity React Run. The Infinity React shoe, version 1 and version 2 are super popular out here. They're like it's like every other person has them on. It's amazing. A lot of people are still rocking old Pegasus 36, 35. And then I see a lot of Brooks as well. So those are the main ones that I see out here. But I do look at people's feet quite a bit. All right. Let's scroll down a little bit further. Okay, I think I'm kind of almost caught up. So let me go back a little bit. Cooper Davis says, are you interested in the Peregrine 11? It looks a lot like the Peg Trail 2. I love the Peregrine. I think it looks amazing. I have a feeling, though, because it has those spots on the bottom where you could drill screws into it, any shoe that has that, I'm feeling like probably has an outsole that I don't like for trail shoes. I don't like it when it's that super like stiff rubber where it's like very firm. I have a feeling that it's going to be very firm on the outsole. I could be wrong on it. But I have a feeling like just that shoe, because it seems to be intended for very intense trail running and slippery running. Like if I don't like it, people are going to be like, it's because you don't really run trails. And so like, it's just a hard one for me to kind of like, there's a high risk that it just like, I might not like it, number one. And number two, that like, if I don't like it, people will just be like, psh, well, it's because Kofuzi's not a real trail runner, which is true, but that's not why I don't like a shoe, So I love the look of it. I think it looks amazing. I really want to run in it, but like, I just don't know that I'm going to like it. It's probably more trail shoe than I need. Kind of like, I feel like it'd be even more trail than probably similar to my experience, I would say, to like the Sun Ride from Solomon. I wanted to like that shoe a lot, but it's just more trail shoe than I ever needed. All right. Speaking of people staring at shoes, Albert says, I wore pink Boston 9s the other day, and this lady kept staring at my shoes. Yeah, well, probably because they look so great. Yeah. The Boston 9s, the pinks, are nice. Very nice. Sean Marshall, what's going on, says, I see Pegs and Brooks Ghost the most. I do still see a lot of Peg. I see a lot of Pegs. I see a lot of Peg Turbos, but I do see a lot of Brooks Ghost. Who knows exactly which one it is, because I feel like Brooks uses like the same outsole pattern on a lot of shoes. So these days I don't see as many runners, although I saw a lot on Saturday. But I see their footprints all the time. And I see a lot of that kind of like, it's almost kind of like an infinity pattern for the Brooks. So I see that a lot. Stevie76 says, I think a lot of people look at other people's wrists to see what watch they're wearing. I'm not a watch guy, but I've heard it's a thing. I don't do that. I have a feeling my sister does that. My sister knows her watches really well, or I think she does. The closest thing that I've ever come to like paying attention to what's on people's watch is there's a watch it started out as Preacher Sneakers. Do you guys ever follow that Instagram account? There's a watch version of that too. That's the only time I've ever really paid attention to what watches people are wearing. Martha says, Mike, you need a crib sheet in front of you with the names of all the shoes. They're impossible to get straight. Yeah, the ones that I have the problem with are the React shoes that Nike puts out, because like sometimes it's the shoe name then React, then other times it's React then the shoe name. There doesn't seem to be a real pattern other than what they think sounds better, which that's a perfectly fine system, but it makes it hard for me to remember. And then the Skechers ones, I just don't. I mean, I not only need like a name sheet for the Skechers shoes, I also need like notes, like a crib sheet to say like you ran in this one and you liked it. Like, cause like sometimes like I'm like, is that the one I ran in, or is that the one I didn't run in that one? I don't know. I just can't remember because the names are so convoluted for those. Michael McBride said, "Hola from Panama." What's going on, Michael? Says, "What strength exercise are you doing these days?" I'm doing my leg routine, which is squats, single leg lunges. All these are body weight. Lateral lunges, reverse lunges, and then single leg deadlifts. And then that's all my warm up. And then when I can remember to do them, so that means not as regularly, I will do on like a balance ball kind of thing. It's not a balance ball, but it's kind of like a balance ball. It just makes you have to balance a little bit more. I'll do like a pistol squat. Sometimes I'll just do kind of like a reverse lunge kind of motion on it, just standing on it with one leg a lot, while not like making sure I'm still having a good posture too. So I'll do some of that, and then monster walk, the banded walks, where you have like the band on your knees and you kind of go back and forth across the room. Those are the main ones that I'm doing. I was watching a Tin Man Elite video the other day, and I forget which one. One of them, I think Drew, was doing something where he was doing squats with one of those longer bands, and he was like stepping on the band on one part and then wrapping the other part on his shoulder and then doing squats that way. I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to do that. I have one of those bands. I've not known what to do with it. I was like, maybe I should try that. So that would give you like those squats. I don't like weights, but I wouldn't mind doing some banded stuff. I could see that. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right. Matt Fotu says, Under Armour has Tom Brady. That's all they need to stay afloat until he retires. Is it? I mean, they got Steph Curry. Steph Curry's still with Under Armour, right? They got Steph Curry. They got The Rock. They got Tom Brady. So I mean, like, they've got lots of big athletes. They need. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have athletes. They've got athletes, top tier athletes, some of the best ever. But like, they're not runners. Not to say that Morgan McDonald's not a real runner, and I don't know who else runs for Under Armour. And part of that's me, because basically the runners that I know are people that are on YouTube or are big on Instagram, and that's my fault because I'm a bad fan of the sport. But yeah, I'm just not. I'm not seeing like what are the shoes that they're bringing to the market. I don't know. But yeah, they have Tom Brady, for better or worse. I mean, I think that's a perfect fit. Perfect fit for Under Armour. Again, for better or worse. Luke Ang says, will there be a Nike Tempo review? Probably not. I would say no. I think a lot of people have reviewed it really well. And I'd say if you want to find like a nice review of a really like good review, I mean, I think it's pretty fair. He's got a good experience and bad experience too. Would be Ben Parks. He talks about that shoe a lot. He loved his, but then also had his Zoom Air Pocket pop on his second pair, I think. I want to say the second pair. So he was one that I would look at that probably has like the most positive review on it. Yeah, but like other people have been like, this is a pretty specialized shoe. You know, it's kind of like you got to read between the lines. And they're saying that they kind of like don't like it. So I don't know. G. Jack Murphy says, what running watch did you buy with a budget of 250 pounds? I'm not really sure what the prices are in pounds, but I think for 250 pounds, you could probably get a Koros Pace 2. That's probably what I would get. Some other, yeah, Joshua and Tao, and a couple, I think I saw it a couple other times. Yeah, Vegan Runner as well. Said the Forerunner 245, also really good watch. Kerry Smith says, they have to pay The Rock, Under Armour, so they don't have any money left for innovation. That very well could be it. I mean, I can't imagine how that he's a cheap athlete to have in their roster. Is the Titan game still on? Is that still a thing? I don't know. I was watching it when we were over at my in-laws' place, and then it kind of went away. Like Titan Games was on for a while, and then I feel like Ninja Warrior had like a big spurt of episodes, and then it was like reboots of old game shows, like Press Your Luck. So I don't like primetime television is just terrible. So I don't know what's on TV. I don't know if Titan Games is still a thing, but it was entertaining for like a little while. All right. Javier Quintero says, "Are you worried about slowing down with age? Are you still trying to PR?" Yes and yes. So I am worried about slowing down with age, but I think that one of the things that I have in my benefit is that my running age is still pretty young, I would say, just because I took so many breaks from running over the years. And even when I was running in previous years, consistency was never a strong point for me. So, this is the first time that I've really run with consistency over the course of seasons and years. And so, like, I feel like there's still a lot of life left in these legs, and I'm still trying to PR. So, looking at it in the long term. But age is something that you think about. I don't think the drop off is quite so. I mean, running is a weird sport. I mean, yesterday we were comparing running to other professional sports, but running is a weird sport where it seems like they're realizing that people can be competitive later in life for longer, depending on the distance. But the other thing is that, like, on the other hand, like other sports, they're brutal. Like you don't want to sign a running back after they're 25, 26, because they're already past their prime. So like it goes from running backs being like at the top of their career to being not worthless is not the right word, but not that valuable in the span of like a few months. So I don't think the drop off is so stark, but it's a very real thing. Steve Hammerberg says, "You don't sit down for 3 hours to watch Chicago Med, Chicago PD, and Chicago Fire." No, I don't. But Steve says, "Yes, broadcast TV is garbage." Yeah. I mean, I'd love to be proven wrong. But I mean, for me, the programming the only programming that I watch on like network television is like the local news. That's about it. When it's not like local news, I'm not really that interested. Graham Tricker says, "I'm still worrying about the age thing, and I'm 63. There you go, Graham. That's right. And Stevie76 says, "Kofuzi looks so young, he still gets carded." I don't get carded anymore. I'd like to think it's thanks to this gray streak right here, my speed stripe, that I don't really get carded anymore. But, that only stopped a little while ago. So, yeah, I mean, well, it stopped more than a year ago because I haven't been anywhere that I need to be carded in the last year. But even before that, I probably wasn't getting carded that regularly anymore. But every once in a while, the little convenience store downstairs in my building, they would still card me, which was like, at this point was annoying because I'm like, I'd be showing up with like bags under my eyes. Like they've seen me bring my kids kicking and screaming in there. So I'm like, you guys know me. I'm the annoying dude that always brings his kids in here. So like, I don't know. But I think that was their rule. So yeah, I have gotten carded relatively recently. Sarah Mim says, "Kofuzi, how do the Reebok shirts," I think you're wearing one, compared to the Tracksmith shirts? I am wearing one of the Reebok shirts right now. These are very comfortable to wear, but they're very different than the Tracksmith shirts. The Tracksmith shirts are highly functional from a running perspective, but they are comfortable like a casual wear shirt. But these shirts are very comfortable as a casual wear shirt, but I would never want to run in it. It's a cotton tee. It's very big and baggy. The cut's not really right for running. It's not a running shirt. But it is very comfortable to wear. It's oversized. It reminds me of the clothes that I used to buy when I was in high school when everything was baggy. So like there's a nostalgia to it. The thing that I like about these shirts is that they're made with dyes and with fabrics that are supposed to be a little bit more sustainable than the traditionally used fabrics in t-shirts. So I feel like I think the dyes were natural dyes. That's why the colors are kind of a little bit different. I have to double check on the fabrics, but I know at least the dye and like the manufacturing process It's supposed to be a little bit greener for the earth. So that's like the big push with these. But very, very different. Both comfy to wear around the house, but different, very different kind of purposes to them. Teddy Man wants to know, are there Olympian seasonal runners, or is that only for amateurs? That's definitely only for amateurs. I mean, once you're an Olympian, once you're a pro, that's something that you're at all the time. And I think, you take breaks, but you take breaks like people that have jobs take breaks. So you get 2 weeks off a year kind of thing. Otherwise, you're working. But yeah, Dr. Josh says, if you're Bernard Lagat or Will Smith, age doesn't matter. For sure. For sure. What's so crazy about like Bernard Lagat stories is that every pro has a Bernard Lagat story. It seems like no matter what their age is. So like, Galen Rupp has Bernard Lagat stories, like the time that he raced him in the Atlanta Marathon trials last year. But also Meb Keflezighi also has Bernard Lagat stories from when they were like training at altitude, and Bernard Lagat was there. So like everyone has a Bernard Lagat story. And that's just absolutely incredible about that guy. The guy is ageless. I don't understand. Just they need to study the guy, just like they studied what's his name, Metzler. They need to study Bernard Lagat. That's what I think. They need to check his mitochondrial levels or what, or maybe it's midichlorians that they need to check on him. I don't know, but the guy's magic. All right. Let's see. John Ritchie's here, says, hi, Kofuzi. Love the live stream, watching from Dublin, Ireland. What's going on, John? Thanks so much for tuning in today. Glad to have you here. All right. Steve Arnberg says, I want to get the Path Project hooded tee, but they've been sold out for a while. Have they really on that one? That is a good one. It's that same material that's in the Kofuzi long sleeve. Like it's got the tensile fibers in it. So very soft, very comfortable to wear, but also really good at just temperature regulation. It wears like a much thicker piece of clothing without being thicker. And the hooded one, I have a black one, and it has thumb holes. It's very nice. Very nice. I'm not trying to rub it in, but it's worth waiting for, I would say. Rod Marco says, speaking of shirts, how can I avail your merch? The Kofuzi Black long sleeve. Those are available at pathprojects.com. We're doing the collab there. But collab is a very generous word. They did all the heavy lifting on it, but it's over there, pathprojects.com. I think it's still at the top. There should be a link for it. Right at the top. Altijin says, are you a Blackpink fan, Co? I'm not, I gotta say. So Blackpink is the name, as one of the artists that I used for the Instagram story today. And I have no idea who Blackpink is, but I was sitting here after my run and trying to figure out what was like the music that I wanted to have to go with my Instagram reel. And I picked a couple of different songs, but it didn't quite fit, or the tempo wasn't right for like the footsteps, for the cadence. And I was like, that's not the vibe that I'm going for. I was like, what do I want? And then my daughter has been playing Just Dance. And the song came up, and I'm like, what is this song? It's perfect. And so like, she's like, hold on, Dad, wait, don't bother me, I'm dancing. So she's like dancing, doing the thing with like the little Nintendo Switch controllers and dancing along with it. And I have to wait for her to finish so that way I could see who the artist is. And so I'm like, okay. So then I looked it up on Instagram, and I put it to the reels for today. So that's the only Blackpink song that I've ever heard. I don't know if that's good or bad or what. But that's the story of how I got that one. I like what I like, I guess. All right. Let's see. Stevie76 says, my 10-year-old daughter had to explain to me what Blackpink is about. I'm going to have to look that up now because I don't know what it's about. But by the way people are asking about it, maybe I need to look at it further. I don't know. Teddy Man, isn't Just Dance by Lady Gaga? No, there's isn't that what it's called? I don't know if it's called Just Dance or not. It's a game where you dance along to the music. It's kind of like Guitar Hero but with dancing. So whatever that game is, I just set up the Switch on the TV the other day. We hadn't had it reset up since we got back from Iowa, and she'd been wanting to play. So that's what she was doing. Luke says, are you still a Logic fan? Oh yeah. Yeah, that last album was really good. I felt like the last album was good to listen to as an album all the way through. I don't think it had quite as many like, and I want to say radio station hits, but I don't think it has many like standalone hits. But I felt like as an album, the whole thing really worked for me. So like I listened to the whole thing straight through frequently. Super Schmaltz, hey, what's going on? She says, is it Dance Dance Revolution? It's kind of like that, but it's not Dance Dance Revolution. I don't think it is. There must be like a competing like company that does it, but that's the idea. Let's see. And it says, just finished running with Sherman. What next? I just finished Bravey. The book was good. It was very good. It was pretty intense. So if you haven't read that one yet, it's I think an interesting read. I think that I had a very I think I probably have a very different kind of like take on it than most of the intended audience for that book, because I think that when Alexi Pappas wrote that book, she's writing it to other like women, and particularly younger women, and maybe to men that are out there too. But I don't think she's writing it to like people like her dad's age. Not that I'm exactly her dad's age, but I relate more to her dad than I relate to her. So as I'm listening to this book and hearing her tell her story, I'm hearing it from the perspective of like a dad. So I'm hearing it. It's almost as if like it's very close to being like her dad's memoir of his daughter's life. That's kind of how I'm feeling it. But with almost kind of like the super narrator's kind of sense of like omnipotent knowledge to it as well. So like, I think it's hitting me in a very different way than other people are. And I think it's resonating with me in a very different way too. So yeah, but I really liked it. It was really good. Jonathan Eck giving me, I think is this like the Wikipedia entry for Blackpink? Oh, it's a Korean group. Oh, Blackpink. That's what that translates to. Commonly styled as Blackpink or Blackpink. Oh, I like the way that they wrote it the second time. Over here. South Korean girl group formed by YG Entertainment. Interesting. I didn't know that. But I like that song. I might have to listen to more of it. My daughter's been very interested in K-pop, not because, of her heritage, but because it was in Trolls World Tour. So I'll have to let her know that that's actually K-pop. It's not really K-pop, but it kind of is. All right, Connor Atwood, good to see you again, says, my track season recently started training for the 16 and 1300. Any trainer recommendations for training for those events? I would say you're probably going to need a solid, easy day and long run shoe. So I would look at something like Clifton, Triumph 18, 1080, maybe the version 11, but certainly the version 10. I also have been really liking the 880 version 11. A little bit heavy, but a workhorse. Beacon 3 is probably going to be a good versatile shoe for you as well. Something that you can take on your long run, but also if you need to hop on the track, something that you're doing a little bit both, something that you can definitely handle both of those. So those are some of the the daily trainers that I would probably look at for you. All right. Martha says, I still recommend Dean Karnazes' A Road to Sparta, entertaining but very informative about the history of the marathon, and it's inspiring. Awesome. I still haven't gotten to that one yet. It's on my list, but I just haven't gotten there. Eric Pizarro says, hey, Kofuzi, love your stuff. Want to know what songs you have in your running playlist? Love. Yeah, I have a playlist on I have one on Spotify, but I haven't been on Spotify probably in about a year and a half. I have a playlist on Apple Music. They're both called Kofuzi Run Club. I think you can search and find for them. And that kind of is my running playlist. My running playlist is kind of like a time machine, though. Most of it is stuff that came out more than 10 years ago. So it's a little bit dated. But, those are the things that kind of I was listening to 10 years ago. And I think the older you get, the less new stuff you incorporate into your repertoire. And that's kind of where I'm at on that. Jonathan X, I just finished What I Talk About When I Talk About Running by Murakami. I like that one. That was quick. I got through that real fast. It's so quick that I feel like I need to listen to it again. Because I do all my books on audiobook. I feel like it'd be helpful, especially now, because I've been kind of Yesterday I was in a mood where I was just feeling like, well, kind of related to that question, like, are you worried about age? Are you still chasing PRs? And Murakami deals with that a lot, and I felt like a lot of that did resonate with me, but I think maybe I let too much of it go by too quickly. I think it's probably worth a second listen. Harry Hughes asks, and we'll probably end with this one for today, says, just transitioned from training for a marathon to training for a triathlon. Have you ever considered a triathlon or any other competition race? I have. I did get on the bike, not a lot, but a lot more than I ever have before this last summer. And it certainly has had me thinking, like, once we can have races and other competitions and gatherings again, I want to go to a lot of them. I'd like to try a sprint triathlon at some point. So that's something that I do want to do. I also really want to do a steeplechase. I don't know why, but I just feel like I've got a wild hair that I want to chase down, and I want to steeple because I think it'd be a lot of fun. It's a weird sport, but I think I want to do it. All right. I think that's a great place to listen, to leave it for today. Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. For all of you guys in the Midwest getting this snowstorm, hopefully you guys are doing well. And on the East Coast, people who are starting to get it or will be getting it soon, get ready. Hope you got enough wine and beer and bread and milk in the house to get you through. Not that it's going to snow you in, but you don't want to be going out on this if you don't have to. Tomorrow's video is going to be, I'm going to go over some of that Tracksmith stuff, talk about it in a little bit more detail tomorrow for the video. And then we'll do another live stream. I may or may not have a Monday mukbang available. The thing that I ordered still isn't here. So it's one of those things where I just don't think it's ever going to show up. So we'll have to figure out something for tomorrow. But in either event, we'll have a live stream, 3 p.m., same time as today. Hopefully I'll see you then. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thank you.